the start of the movie, we are dropped right into the middle of a crisis. The sky above Metroburg City cracks open, and a massive, deadly meteor is barreling straight toward the city at terrifying speed. Police sirens blare. Citizens run in every direction. And if nothing stops it, Metroburg City will cease to exist. But here's the good news, this city has a secret weapon. We are introduced to the Thundermans, also known as T-Force, a full superhero family who have sworn to protect this city at all costs. Leading the charge are twin siblings Max and Phoebe, joined by their father Hank, their mother Barb, and their younger siblings, the laser-eyed Nora, the lightning-fast Billy, and the adorable but surprisingly powerful little Chloe, also known as Thunder Baby. The family assembles, strikes their poses, and looks absolutely ready to save the day. That is, everyone except Max, who is too busy snapping selfies in his brand new hero costume to even notice the rock of death falling from the sky. Classic Max. Phoebe quickly warns him that the meteor has already broken into multiple fragments. But when the first chunk comes screaming down toward the city, his instincts kick in and he stops it cold with his telekinetic powers, blasting it to dust. One down. Phoebe follows up by flash freezing the next fragment until it shatters apart. Then Nora fires her eye lasers to vaporize another piece. Even little Chloe wants in on the action, but Barb holds her back and handles the next one herself with a devastating electric blast. And as the final and most dangerous piece descends, Hank channels everything he has into one single earth-shaking punch that destroys it completely. Metroburg City is saved. The crowd goes wild. The family is triumphant. Well, almost. While everyone celebrates, a tiny fragment nobody noticed clips Max on the side. He shakes it off like it's nothing. But that small, ignored detail, remember it. Back at the Heroes League headquarters, the family ditches their costumes and tries to decompress. Hank and Barb are ready for some quality family time. But Phoebe, ever the perfectionist, insists the team needs to sit down and review the mission. Everyone else looks at her like she suggested a trip to the dentist. They scatter. She's left alone with her clipboard and her frustration. Then, just as things start to feel calm, a robo-drone blares a new alert. A dangerous villain named Blue Flame is robbing a bank vault in Metroburg, and he's not being subtle about it. Phoebe is already in mission mode before anyone else has even processed the alert. But her parents pump the brakes and ask the drone if another team can handle it. That's when we are introduced to a brand new group called the V-Team 3 Heroes who happen to also be members of a rock band. Phoebe takes one look at them and immediately doesn't trust them. To her, they scream attention-seeking and fake. So she pushes hard until the whole family agrees to take the mission themselves. The moment they arrive at the bank, things start to unravel. Max jets into the air on his jetpack, providing aerial cover. Phoebe charges straight at Blue Flame. But when she tells Nora to fire a laser blast at the villain, nobody accounts for one critical detail. Blue Flame's suit reflects laser beams. The blast bounces off him and goes straight into Max, sending him spinning out of control. He crashes into a giant decorative donut, which then falls and crushes a V-Team member below. Complete and total chaos. And then, in the middle of all this mess, the V-Team's leader steps forward and fires a single plasma beam from his goggles. Blue Flame drops instantly. The Thundermans stand there in stunned silence. They failed. And the whole city watched it happen. Back home, the family barely has time to feel ashamed before the city's mayor shows up at their door. She tells them straight, because the V-Team interfered and handled the threat, the Thundermans are officially terminated. Their badges, their base, their title, all gone. The V-Team will be taking over from here. The family is forced to pack up and head back to their old hometown of Hiddenville. Max and Phoebe are furious. The rest of the family slowly, painfully begins to accept their new reality. But Max? He is absolutely not built for giving up. He sneaks down to the secret lab where we are reintroduced to his old genius companion, a talking rabbit named Dr. Colosso. Colosso advises him to start small, help regular people rebuild their reputation quietly, and eventually reclaim their place as heroes. Meanwhile, at Hiddenville's local school, Nora and Billy run headfirst into their new normal. Their new principal, Mr. Bradford, already knows the Thunderman's name, and not in a good way. He gives them a cold warning. One wrong move and they're done. Nora tells Billy to keep his powers hidden. Blend in. Be normal. That plan lasts about 11 minutes. Some girls ask if they're really superheroes, and Nora, unable to help herself, fires off her laser eyes for the crowd. Back in Hiddenville, Phoebe reconnects with her best friend Cherry, who gets her a waitress job at a local diner owned by the unpleasant Mrs. Wong. Phoebe takes what she can get. And here is where the movie drops its first massive twist. Cut to Metroburg's high-security prison, where the most feared villains in the city, King Crab, Dark Mayu, and stronger, are locked away. Then the V-team walks in, and they reveal something that changes everything. They are not heroes at all. They are the children of these three villains. The entire bank heist, the interference, getting the Thundermans fired, it was all one perfectly choreographed plan to remove the one family standing in their way. Dark Mayu's son isn't just trying to free his parents. He's after a mysterious artifact hidden somewhere inside the Heroes League base. One that could give him the power to build an unstoppable army and conquer the world. And the Thundermans have no idea any of this is happening. When Max discovers the truth about the V-team, he races to stop them, only to find out Phoebe has already figured it out and gone after them in disguise. Both siblings end up inside the Heroes League base at the same time, watching the villains search for their target. But they're spotted, captured, tied to chairs and hauled off to Dark Mayu's secret hideout. At home, the rest of the family realizes something is very wrong when Max and Phoebe don't come back. Before they can even form a plan, the V-team smashes through their door. Hank tries to fight them off alone, but one electric blast from Junior sends him to his knees. Then they show the family a live feed of Max and Phoebe being tortured in captivity, subjected to electric shocks, suffocating smells, and on loop, Phoebe's most cringeworthy childhood motivational speeches playing at full volume. Max is particularly horrified by that last one. Seeing his children suffering, Hank breaks. He presses a hidden button and reveals the power plant, a collection of red and blue seeds. To test if it's real, the villains feed a red seed to a nearby squirrel, which immediately transforms into a fireball-throwing creature. It's real. The villains take the plant and vanish, breaking their promise to release Max and Phoebe. Hank launches himself after them, but above the city, the V-team has constructed a massive energy dome, and he slams into it and falls. Back in the hideout, the prison cabin begins to fill with liquid mercury. Max and Phoebe join hands and try to break free using their combined twin power, but they can't. As the mercury rises, something unexpected happens. They finally talk. Really talk. Max admits he always pushed harder because he felt like Phoebe was the better hero, and that comparison haunted him. Phoebe admits she kept trying to outshine Max because after he gave up his villain path and became a true hero, she felt less special. They both realized they'd been so obsessed with outdoing each other that they completely lost sight of what makes them powerful: being together. And then Max spots a bag of villain birthday gifts on a nearby table. He uses his telekinesis to pull an explosive sushi piece attached to a fridge magnet. He yanks the magnet toward the glass, and the explosion tears the cabin apart. They're free. They have 20 minutes before the entire hideout self-destructs. Back home, young Chloe finds a second power plant on the floor, this one containing only blue seeds. Billy makes the connection. If red seeds create supervillains, blue seeds might create superheroes. Barb immediately forms a plan. They gather every ally they can find, including a reluctant Principal Bradford and Mrs. Wong, and feed them the blue seeds. Gideon grows an enormous iron fist. Cherry generates beams of light from her fingertips. Mrs. Wong summons storms from her own body. Together, this unlikely team of brand new heroes slam their combined powers into the dome and crack it open. The family teleports back to Metroburg just 20 seconds before the hideout explodes. Hank doesn't wait. He drives his fist straight through the control panel and kills the countdown with nothing but raw strength. Everyone is safe. But the real fight is just beginning. They figure out the V-team must be at Mount Metroburg, the highest point in the city, planning to release red seeds across the entire population using a giant drone. The Thundermans race there and the final battle explodes across the mountaintop. Every member of the family faces their match. Phoebe battles Junior blow for blow, dodging laser attacks before freezing the ground beneath him and sending him flying off the edge. Hank traps King Crab in his cape and lands a punch that echoes across the mountain. Nora and Billy team up to completely overwhelm Stronger and his son, their coordination so sharp that the two villains end up knocking each other out. And Max and Phoebe finish it together, hitting Dark Mayu with everything they have and encasing him in ice. But just when it seems over, Junior hits one last button. The drone launches, seeds loaded, heading for the city. No one can reach it in time, except Chloe. She steps forward and insists this is her moment, that she deserves the chance to prove she's a real hero too. Her parents hesitate, then let her go. Max and Phoebe go with her. Together, the three of them reach the drone. Phoebe pulls the seeds out of the capsule. Max shuts the engine down. But then the machine starts smoking, and Phoebe loses her grip. She tells them to leave without her. Chloe reaches out and teleports all three of them back to the mountain in the final second before the drone explodes. The crowd on the mountain watches in disbelief. Chloe just saved the day. All the villains are arrested. The mayor arrives and personally apologizes to the Thundermans, restoring their hero status immediately. Max and Phoebe accept, but on one condition. They keep their home in Hiddenville. The mayor agrees without a second thought. The family reunites, celebrates, and their newly powered friends show up asking to join T-Force. Max and Phoebe's response? They freeze them solid so the family can eat dinner in peace first. Now here's my question for you. Which Thunderman do you think was the real MVP of this movie? Drop your answer in the comments below. I genuinely want to know what you think. And listen, if you sat through this entire video and you still haven't subscribed, you are literally stealing content at this point. Hit that subscribe button right now. Every upload, you get a full movie breakdown delivered straight to you. Don't be the person who watches everything and gives nothing back. Subscribe. Takes 2 seconds. Do it. See you in the next one.